comprehensive management. He has a lot of experience in different parts of the world. Due to wars and natural disasters, cities are being destroyed. So for their reconstruction, he has this expertise. And when it comes to earthquakes and tsunamis, it's very important to have this resilient infrastructure. And he also has expertise in city planning that is resilient against earthquakes. Cile is an earthquake city like Istanbul, and they've been faced with several earthquakes. So it's very important to have this structure that is resilient against earthquake. It requires specialization, and Christian is here to share his experience in that area with us. The second speaker is Uğurcan Özçamur. He is the general manager of TIS, Tecnologic Isolator Systems Company. So he is a civil engineer and an earthquake seismic engineer. He is continuing his advanced work in Middle East Technical University as well. And I hope I say this correctly. He is working on this insulation devices for earthquake, and he is the general manager of the company that has turnkey solutions in the field of earthquake. He's been there since 2014 in R&D and testing and documentation. He has important experience. He is the main coordinator in his company. He is the general manager of the company, and he is a member of Turkey Seismic Isolation Association and Turkey MCAT. Our final speaker is Kazım Gökhan Elgin. He is the director of Istanbul Project Coordination Unit. This unit is part of Istanbul Governorship. He is a civil engineer, and he's been working in the disaster sector for 22 years. He's been involved in projects with the Ministry of Health. He started with an engineering company. Then he was in the Prime Ministry Project Implementation Unit. He was a coordinator there. And Istanbul has a very high risk of earthquakes, so he works on the İSMEK project for making the city more resilient against earthquakes, and he has played an important role for the financing aspect. And in 2006, he was appointed as the director of the Istanbul Project Coordination Unit. İSMEK is a very comprehensive project, and it's shown as a model by several international organizations. So we have very distinguished panelists. We're going to discuss critical infrastructures in critical moments. I'm very happy to be moderating this session. Thank you all for your participation. So in our country, the earthquake risk is huge, so the resilience of critical infrastructure is extremely important to normalize back, for life to go back to normal. So I also would like to emphasize that today we're not only talking about earthquake. There is climate change and COVID and all these problems. So it's not just a single disaster that we have to be resilient against. We have to come up with technologies that are resilient against several disasters all at the same time. In fact, right now, we're actually talking about polycrisis rather than disaster management. So it's important to have these structures or systems and infrastructural networks that are resilient against all of these different crises. It's very important, should be very important to think about those. So without further ado, I would like to continue with our panelists, starting with Mr. Christian and then the other panelists. Then I hope we have the chance for questions. Thank you. I'll give the floor to our panelists. It's your turn. Ayağa kalkacağım, özür diliyorum. Çünkü sürekli hareket etmem gerekiyor. Şilili olduğum için. Şilililer, depremin oğulları, kızları. Şimdi bu sunum depreme karşı mimari tasarımda yaratıcı ve yenilikçi yeni stratejiler başlıklı ve ben size deprem ve tsunami konusundaki Şili deneyimini anlatmaya çalışacağım. Bu nedir? Latin Amerika'nın en yüksek kulesi bu. 322 metre yüksekliğinde ve Santiago şehrinin göbeğinde bu kule. Bir nehre yakın. Yani çok kötü toprak koşulları. Ve cam panellerle kaplı bir bina. Bina 2006'da inşa edildi. 8.8'lik bir depreme direnç gösterdi 2010'da. Aynı şekilde 2014'te 8.2 depremine direndi ve 2015'te 8.4'lük bir depreme direndi. Ne ölüm var, bir kişi bile ölmedi, bir tek hasar yok, hiçbir hasar, yaralanma yok ve kırılan cam yok. Nasıl mümkün? Bakın bu da yine başka bir büyük kule ülkemizde, Santiago'da, Şili'de. Titanyum Kulesi adı. 190 metre yüksekliğinde. Yine camla kaplı. 2007'de inşa edildi bu kule. 2010'daki 8.8'lik depreme direnç gösterdi. 8.2, 8.4 depremlerine direnç gösterdi. Bir kişi ölmedi, bir kişi yaralanmadı, bir cam kırığı yok. Nasıl mümkün? Bu çok yeni bir bina Santiago'da, Şili'de. Ve Alejandro Arena tarafından tasarlandı. Kendisi 2016 yılında ödül almış olan bir mimar. Bu yeni bir inovasyon merkezi Şili'de. Çok büyük bir beton parçası diyebiliriz. 8 metre havada olan bir kısmı var. Bu da 2014'te inşa edildi. 8.8, 8.2 ve 8.4 şiddetindeki depremlere direndi. Bir ölüm yok, bir yaralanma yok, bir hasar yok, tek bir kırık cam yok. Nasıl mümkün? Bu Latin Amerika'nın en büyük hastanesi. 500 metre uzunluğunda. Bütün bina, tek bir parça bina, yani bir binanın parçası değil. Çok büyük bir hastane bizim ülkemizde. 2014'te inşa edildi. 8.8, 8.2 ve 8.4'lük depremlere direndi. Bir tek ölüm, bir yaralanma, bir tek hasar, bir kırık cam yok. Nasıl mümkün? Bu çok eski bir kilise yine ülkemizde. Hiçbir duvarı bir diğerine eşdeğer değil. Burada duvarların bağlantısı gizlenmiş durumda. Yere değmiyor duvarlar ve de tavan doğal ışığın içeri girebilmesi için havada. 1956'da inşa edildi. 9,5 şiddetinde, yani tarihin en büyük depremine direndi. 8.5, 8.8, 8.2 ve 8.4'lük depremlere direndi. Bir ölümü yok, bir yaralanma yok, bir hasar yok, kırık cam yok. Nasıl mümkün? Bu bir mucize mi? Şans mı? Hayır. tamamen gerçek bir deprem karşıtı kültürün sonucu olan bir yapı. Bunlar teknik meselelerle değil, deprem karşıtı bir kültürün oluşturulması ile ilgili. Peki biz kimiz? Biz Chile düşünce grubuyuz. Thought Group Chile. Bu grubun içerisinde mimarlar var, tasarımcılar var ve tamamen yaratıcı, artistik tasarımlar yapıyoruz, mimari tasarımlar yapıyoruz binalarda. Şimdi deprem düzenlemeleri mimari anlamda güzel tasarımlar için bir engel değil, bir fırsat. Şimdi biz ne yaptık? 11 yıllık bir deneyimimiz var ve şehrin yeniden yapılanmasına, binaların güçlendirilmesine destek verdik ve bu şekilde çeşitli depremlere direnmek mümkün oldu. 3 ülkede çalışıyoruz bu yeniden yapılandırma sürecinde. Savaşta tahrip olmuş veya doğal afetlerde tahrip olmuş şehirlerde. Peki neden Şili? Biz bu ateş çemberi denilen bölgedeyiz, Pasifik Okyanusu'nda. Gerçekten çok korkunç bir deprem ve volkanik bölge dünyada. Deprem bölgesi ve volkanik bölge. Nazca plakasında yer alıyoruz. Yine Avrupa, Kuzey Amerika, Güney Amerika ve Hint, Avustralya plakası arasında yer alıyoruz. 2000'den fazla aktif volkan var ülkemizde. Şili'yi biliyorsunuz. Şili çok uzun bir ülke, uzun bir ülke. 7000 kilometrelik uzunlukta sahili, Pasifik Okyanusu boyunca 7000 kilometrelik bir kıyısı var. Dolayısıyla çok büyük tsunamiler yaşıyoruz. Japonya ile paylaşıyoruz tsunamileri. 31 metre yüksekliğinde dalgalar gördük. En son tsunami'de ki bu 2010 yılındaydı. Burada da bir tablo görüyoruz. Bu tabloda sınıflandırma yer alıyor ki çöküntü düzeyindeyiz. Yani biz dünyanın en yoğun deprem ülkesiyiz. 108 büyük deprem ve pek çok büyük tsunami atlattık. Çok ağır depremler var tarihimizde. Yine 8 şiddetinin üzerinde depremler yaşadık. En büyük, insan tarihinde kaydedilmiş en büyük deprem Valdivia depremi 1960 tarihli ve 9,5 şiddetinde. 2010 yılında 8,8'lik bir deprem yaşadık. 2014'te 8,2 ve de 2015'te 8,4'lük depremler yaşadık. Dolayısıyla her 1,4 yılda bir deprem yaşıyoruz tarihimiz boyunca. Yani sürekli hareket ediyor ülke. Hayatımızın bir parçası bu. Sürekli hareket var DNA'mızda. İnanması güç, öyle değil mi? Çünkü sonuç olarak bizim çok farklı şehirlerimiz var. Burada bir liste görüyorsunuz. Kırmızı olan 8,5 ve mavi olan da 8,0'a kadar olan depremleri gösteriyor. Yani bu bir özet. 109 deprem. Bunların 25'i 8 şiddetinin üzerinde. 84 deprem 7 şiddetinin üzerinde. Ve de orta şiddette 7500 kadar deprem yaşıyoruz her yıl ortalamada. Yani her yıl ortalama olarak orta şiddete 7500 deprem yaşıyoruz ve de tarihte kaydedilmiş en büyük deprem olan Valdivia depremi 1960'da bizim ülkemizde yaşandı. Burada da çok net olarak enerji yoğunluğunu görüyoruz depremlerin. Bir karşılaştırma var burada. Burada işte farklı şiddetleri görüyorsunuz. Bu da ısı haritası. Yani enerjinin yayılımını gösteriyor. Valdivia 1960 depremi Japonya'yı da etkiledi. Ve bizim depremimiz yüzünden Japonya'da insanlar öldü. Ya öyle bir enerji açığa çıktı. Bir de 2010'da yaşanan deprem. Yine başka bir tablo. Evet, bu bir karşılaştırma tablosuydu bu depremlerle ilgili. Ölümler, hasarlar, çöken binalar ve bunun ekonomiye maliyeti görülüyor bu tabloda tarih boyunca. Bu da başka bir tablo. Uluslararası bir karşılaştırma yer alıyor. Bizim depremimiz Meksika'yla ve sizin ülkenizdeki Gölcük depremiyle 99 depremiyle karşılaştırılıyor. Ölümler, hasarlar, çökmeler ve ekonomik maliyet. Aradaki fark çok büyük. Yine başka bir karşılaştırma. En büyük depremleri karşılaştıran bir tablo. Burada yine sizin en son Şubat'ta yaşadığınız depremle bir kıyaslama var. Yine aradaki fark çok büyük. Kat kat büyük. Ölüm anlamında da, ekonomik maliyet anlamında da kat be kat büyük sizin kaybınız. Neden? Biz çok yoksul bir ülkeyiz Türkiye'ye kıyasla. O zaman neden Şili bir dünya referansı olsun? Yani bu sadece istatistiksel bir şey mi? Tabii ki hayır. İstatistik sadece belli bir takım veriler. Mimari gerçekliğin arayüzüdür. Ve çok da güzel, harika bir arayüzüdür. Dolayısıyla bu verileri anlamaya çalışırken anahtar nokta bu verilerle ne yapılması gerektiğini anlamaya çalışmaktır. Depremlerde, şehirlerde. Evet, çok sayıda depremimiz oldu. Bu büyük bir trajedi mi bizim için? Hayır, değil. Bizim için bu bir fırsat. Depremi bilmek için, araştırmak için, nasıl başa çıkacağımızı öğrenmek için, onu yenmek için bir fırsat şehirlerimizde. Dolayısıyla buradaki temel mesele oldukça basit. Şile, binaların mühendislik ve mimari tasarımında, sanatsal tasarımında en iyi ve en başarılı dünya referansı. Yani nasıl bir deprem karşıtı kültür oluşturulur ki 20-25 yıl sonrasında başka bir büyük trajedi önlensin diye. Şili nasıl, neden başarılı oldu? Yani sırrı neydi? Şili, dünyadaki diğer deprem ülkelerine kıyasla bu kadar kat kat fark olmasını sağlayacak ne yaptı? Bu 7 stratejik strateji var burada. Bir, tasarım felsefesi, lateral direnç. Onun dışında deprem düzenleme kurumları arasındaki bağlantılar, kurumsal garantiler, akademik işbirlikleri yine, çeşitli prosedürler, materyaller ve protokoller, bağımsız ulusal değerlendirmeciler ve en iyi uzmanlardan oluşan takım, yerel yönetimler ve belediyelerde, en iyi maaşlar ülkede. Yerel yönetimlere bu konuda veriliyor. Sırf bu değerlendirmeleri yapmaları için, protokolleri değerlendirmeleri için, binaları değerlendirmeleri için en iyi kadın ve erkeklerimiz birlikte çalışarak ailelerimizi korumak için, geleceği korumak için birlikte çalışıyorlar. Bu değerlendirmeleri yapıyorlar. Yine mimari, yaratıcı ve inovatif tasarım konsepti. Yani burada deprem karşıtı bina yapmak, yaratıcı olmaya, inovatif olmaya bir engel değil. Yine mühendislerle, yapısal mühendislerle çok güzel işbirliği yapıyoruz. Öncesinde sonrasında değil, sürekli, düzenli olarak bütün süreç boyunca benim en iyi dostlarım mühendisler. Dolayısıyla mühendislerin bilgisi çok fazla bilgi sağlıyor yaratıcı tasarıma. Ve tabii ki karşılıklı bir süreç bu. Mimari doğrulama. 4 gerçek Şili örneği deprem konusundaki başarısını doğruluyor. Anahtar sorular. Bu dünya klasmanında bir mimari nasıl olabilir ki? Şili çok yoksul bir ülke, çok uzak bir ülke. Demek ki yoksulluk insanların yaratıcı olmasını sağlıyor. Bizim stratejimiz ne? Başarımızın sırrı ne? Olağanüstü, dikkat çekici, güzel mimari eserler nasıl tasarlanır? Bu kadar kısıtlı bütçelerle, son derece zor bir bağlam içerisinde. Örnek 1. Bu kiliseye bakalım. Çeşitli duvarları olan bir kilise. Bu duvarların bağlantı yerleri gizli durumda. Şimdi buradaki plana bakalım. Duvarların hiçbiri birbiriyle benzer değil. Belli bir takım boşluklar tasarlanmış. Doğal ışığın girebilmesi için kutular var, beton duvarlar var ama birbirleriyle çatışmıyor. Bu alandaki deneyimi hayal edin. Tarihteki en büyük direnci tek bir çatlak olmadan, en büyük depreme tek bir çatlak olmadan direndi bu bina. Ve demek ki mimari tasarımda güzellik bu kadar deprem yoğun bir bölgede bile mümkün.
Bu kesişim alanında bile eşleşme görmüyoruz. Tabii ki yaratıcı bir çözümden bahsediyorsak yeni bir deneyim, yeni bir uzamsal deneyim ve doğal ışık deneyimi de yaratmamız gerekiyor. Kendi ülkemizde çok zayıf koşullar, yani teknik anlamda inşaat açısından zayıf koşullar var. İkinci örnek Santiago'da Costanera Tower adını verdiğimiz bu gökdelen çok özel bir bina. Yaratıcı bir strateji uygulanmış. Burada asansör kutularında nasıl bir değişiklik yapılabilir? Yani strüktüre dirençli bütün bir binada yaratıcı bir mekanizma ile çalışacak, sizi farklı bina seviyelerine götürecek bir asansör sistemi. Buradaki merkezdeki dirençli merkeze dikkat edin. Bu strüktürel sütunlardan oluşan, tabana dek uzanan bir mekanizma. Bu da binadaki 3 boyutlu ofis planı. 300 metre uzanlığında. Çözüm aslında temellerde yapıldı. Temelleri atılırken binanın rotasyonlu büyük bir hazne oluşturuldu ve büyük bir sütunun üstüne bu yerleştirildi. Bu sütunda yerin 18 metre derinine, altına iniyordu. Ve bu temel binanın geri kalan strüktürüyle doğrudan bir bağlantıya sahip değildi. Disipatörler aracılığıyla geçiş sağlandı ki bu son derece teknik yapısal aksamlar. Bu da ana strüktür. 200 metreden daha fazla bir yüksekliğe sahip ve yine 18 metre derine inen Sütunlar. Bu da başka bir gökdelen. Farklı bir yapı ama biraz daha farklı. Büyük bir kutu. Temelde bu kurgulanıyor. Sütunlar ve bunların yarıçaplarını görüyorsunuz. Ve aynı strateji asansör kutularında da uygulanıyor. Bunlar sayesinde son derece spesifik cihazlar kullanılarak, bunlar yine izole edilmiş cihazlar, bu asansör kutularını bu şekilde kurguluyor. Bu son derece yaratıcı bir temel sistem. Ve bu sayede böyle bir etkin asansör sistemi bu X gibi strüktürde kuruluyor ve bu her katta kullanılabiliyor, spesifik noktalar, ama sadece bir strüktürden de bahsetmiyoruz. Burada üzerinde karar vermemiz gereken yeni bir objeden söz ediyoruz. Ve bu katın, bu ofis bin alanının zenginleştirilmesiyle ilgili bir çözüm. 2 dakikanız daha var. 3. örneğimiz bu başka bir bina. Çok büyük beton duvarlar, kitleselliği büyük. Yine aynı strateji. İzolatörler, 450 metre yüksekliğinde, bu büyük bir hastane. Yeni kreatif temel çözümleriyle bu yapılıyor. Bu da söz konusu mekanizmanın tasarımı. Evet, beton bloklar, kullanılan farklı teknolojik cihazlar ve materyaller, disipatörler, izolatörler. Evet, burada asansör sistemini görüyoruz. Bu da çok büyük bir küre, bir binanın tepesinde hareketi kompanse etmek için ağırlığı dengeleyici bir işlev üstleniyor. Hepsi Şili'de inşa edilmiş bu örneklerin. Bu da sorunun. Mimari tasarım, gerçeklik silahının önemli bir arayüzüdür ve architectural design, yani mimari tasarım, hem sanatsal hem de teknik bir silahtır ve bu silahı yine depremlerle ilgili olarak kendimizi korumak adına kullanabiliyoruz. Sanatsal, tekniksel ve kültürel anlamda tsunamiler, deprem ve diğer doğal afetlerde ölümleri ve yaralanmaları ve hasarları engelleyebiliriz. Çok teşekkürler. Cristia'nın bu aydınlatıcı sunum için çok teşekkür ediyoruz.
Ve şimdi Uğurcan Bey'e prezentasyonu yapması için.
Over to our next speaker to make his speech. Today I'm going to talk about earthquake isolation and insulation. So now I'm going to elaborate more on this issue a bit. Let me start with a video in the first place, if it's possible. So this is a building that they are working on with isolators, and they just apply a real-time earthquake movement and see how the blocks are reacting. So the reason for this experiment is to see how the filling walls will act, which are not fixed to a certain place, and how they will react during an earthquake. So in the second part, the isolators are fixed, and the same earthquake is being applied, so the second part doesn't last for long anyhow. So this is actually the reason behind it, both mechanically and from a rational perspective. It's very easy. So we have this fixed base structure and base isolated structures, and on the horizontal line it's very flexible, and the shaking, the movements triggered by the earthquake are minimized with these. So the upper structure stays as a rigid structure, and that prevents the structural and unstructural damage which might occur after an earthquake. So that way you're in a way able to control the effects of an earthquake to a certain extent. Of course, there is a background to it, because earthquake regulations are drawn in certain military boundaries, and this is just to save lives during a large earthquake. And when you do that, actually you need to come up with the cheapest and most economic solution to prevent lives. But if you want to go beyond that, when the performance is not enough, or when you look for a higher performance, you need to use different systems. These might be a number of architectural or structural solutions. These might be some anti-seismic devices, like earthquake isolators and so on. But for every movement, every step that you will be taking, you need to pay for it, and you need to do some things more. And because all we are trying to do is to come up with a balance between the earthquake and the potential damage it might cause onto buildings and people. So the main principle is to preserve the structural and non-structural components of a structure, of a building. So the building needs to stay in operation and functional after the earthquake as well. So this is an advantage which is like priceless, and you can evaluate this from a technical perspective, from a structural and functional perspective, but this is the essence of things. So if you look at the issue from a global perspective, the first applications and implementations started in the 1970s, which correspond to our current understanding of earthquake isolation. And in Turkey, we have a similar trend like that of the world at large, because in large projects, as the performance of earthquake-proof buildings have been observed, a greater number of projects and structures have started to implement them. This is how things have evolved and grown in South America and in North America and other parts of the world. So we have these projects all around the world. In some places they are less, and in some others more, but they exist. So they are being tested with real earthquakes continuously, and these are systems which have proven their efficiency for years now. And it's one of the most, the safest methods that we use. The reason for that is that on a regulatory basis they are proven and documented, and the processes are and the technicalities are all defined in these regulations. So in Turkey we can start and finish the whole process from scratch and complete it. We have the technicalities and sets of skills, be it from a seismological perspective and structural engineering and earthquake engineering and test labs and manufacturing. So all the processes are sold in the country, in Turkey, starting from R&D and field work. Of course, we have areas where we need further improvement, But in 2008, we had the earthquake regulation, and that regulation included the earthquake isolation as a concept for the first time, and that paved the way for us, actually. So that gave us a regulatory background. Engineers were somehow a bit distanced from the concept, so that diminished their concerns. So it was a good and sound legal basis for the stakeholders. The first applications started in the beginning of 2000s, and now we have in Turkey like more than 200 earthquake isolation projects being rolled out. Many of them are hospital buildings because after the earthquake they need to be staying in operation, and viaducts and bridges and roads, some airports and some historical buildings. And after February the 6th, of course, the residential industry and residents and houses were included in this as well. So the numbers are increasing all the time. There are a number of projects, although few in number, who have been engineered and designed with the concept of earthquake insulation and isolation in the first place. So these are the application areas. Actually, we do not have any limitations as to the type of the building. As long as you have the right design and the right implementation, it could be implemented in all sorts of buildings. But the question that remains is whether we should be using it for all sorts of buildings. Of course, no, because you need to come up with the right engineering and design, because every recipe for every building is different from one another. There are some sorts of buildings where you cannot do it. Of course, you can't implement this for adjacent buildings or buildings which are not detached. So it could be different architectural solutions, or it could, you need to support them with different anti-seismic devices. And using earthquake isolators on weak surfaces may not be the best option on hand. And as far as the implementation is concerned, for strengthening the historical buildings, it is a reasonable method, of course, for historical buildings, but for more standard buildings, it is usually not applicable all the time. Of course, we have a number of examples to that. Every project needs to be evaluated in its own context. So every project is special. If it's applicable for that project in question, yes, why not? So these are a number of examples, and you see the photographs: hospital buildings, historical buildings, data centers, bridges and viaducts, and some of them are in Turkey and some of them are in Italy, South America, and countries like Chile and Argentina. And so there are three main devices, three main isolators. So these are usually steel and devices, like high fading rubber and again lead ones, but these are the prototypes and the ones which are mostly used. Together with the design, we have numerous test processes for these devices. These are called the prototype tests. I don't know the technicalities, but then they go through a great number of tests, and it's only after that that they are put into use, which is the same all around the world. We have another video from the test. So one device is subject to such experiments more than once, of course, and there are a number of procedures which are compulsory to implement, so that these could be put into practice and used in buildings. Of course, the real earthquakes are also opportunities for us to test these devices. On February the 6th, we have seen the great performance of these isolators, And both in matters of design and implementation, we came up with a number of small details which had been ignored, but then we have seen in the real case that they might cause great problems, so that gave us an opportunity to improve and to correct some minor details. So all in all, in the real earthquake, all these isolators acted and behaved in the expected manner. If there had not been a number of minor errors, things would have been better, but still the performance was great. And then on the day of the earthquake, a number of hospitals continued serving people and their patients because they had these earthquake isolators, and they stayed there intact, and people just received their health services. And in the Malatya and Adıyaman region, there were no hospitals without any isolators, and operations were ongoing at the time of the earthquake. So we have seen the real-life example of this in Turkey as well, and we had a number of field visits. These are some visual measurements. We couldn't have devices with us, but we went there and we have seen it with our eyes. These are a number of images from the implementation. So how you connect the upper part and how the isolators are placed. So since there were many questions that came up from the public, I just wanted to add it into my presentation. And this is the floor where the isolators are placed. It's the view. And this is an example where we strengthen the building which already exists. So anchorage operation on the upper part. So this is a detailed image. So how could isolators be used in the elevator spaces and in the stairs areas? So the critical point here is, again, the movement spaces should be allocated properly, and the surrounding of the building should be planned so that the isolators would not be hindered or blocked. So the architectural details should be clarified beforehand so that the isolators would be able to function in full force and efficiency. So that means a bit longer process of engineering, but all the details are critical. And again, the entrances and exits of car parking areas, the seismic space, the mechanical devices, implementation examples. So when everything is done, you can just bring them together with all other details in line with earthquake regulations. This is a sample project. I think it's first in Turkey, a municipality building in Pendik in Istanbul. So in this building, 67 isolators will be used in 6 different sizes. These are the specifics of the isolators. I just wanted to share the details with you. I think as end of the year, the isolators, the implementation of these isolators on the field will be finished. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Uğurcan Bey. Now, Mr.
Davet ediyorum.
Evet, kıymetli hocam çok teşekkür ederim.
For his speech. Well, thank you very much, and I would like to thank everyone for being here and listening to us. Today I'm going to talk about the mitigation of the seismic risk in Istanbul and this preparation project that we have rolled out for emergency cases. This has been going on since 2006. Turkey is a country of natural disasters, earthquakes. This is the image where we have seen in the Gökhan earthquake, which very much overlaps with the Kahramanmaraş earthquake we had this year. And after 1999, we had this fire at Tüpraş facility, and they could not go on with their production for months after the disaster. And this year again, we had this fire in the Iskenderun port. And this is a railway, from 1999 and 2023 from Gölcük and Kahramanmaraş, where the railway is no longer functioning due to the earthquake and floodings in Istanbul and in Adıyaman. So that will mean casualties. That will mean casualties for us in the coming periods as well, because the earthquake has triggered migration, and infrastructure is not always enough. And when the rain falls heavily, this is an even more important issue. So in Maraş and in Adıyaman, again, after the earthquakes, we had such floodings, and we have lost more people, unfortunately. Landsliding, forest fires are other ancillary disasters. But the loss comes from earthquakes, essentially, by 97%. So this chart represents the developing and developed countries. The purple one shows the developed ones, and the green line shows the developing countries. And the stars, the asterisk, represents earthquakes. And on this chart, you can see the negative impact of earthquakes on the development process of a country. So sustainable development is really being tested with such natural disasters. And in 1999, we had lost like 5.5% of our GDP just because of the earthquake. And this year we are talking about an economic loss of like $100 billion. So in the old days we used to define this as fate only, but we cannot designate it as fate merely. We have had great studies on earthquakes and the earthquake zones. We know the earthquake basins, and we can just come up with the anticipations based on our studies on the fault lines. So I'm sorry to say this, but it's not your fate to die because of an earthquake, because you can measure these things and anticipate things. So we have up to this point worked in a kind of reactionary manner. But in this project we have on hand, we are working proactively, which is focusing on risk mitigation and minimization. So this is a holistic perspective that will lead us to risk management, and this is what we are trying to do. So frankly speaking, in the development plans, so we update our development plans in every 5 years. Turkey has actually embraced this concept of risk mitigation. Thinking about the risks and doing what needs to be done to mitigate risks before the disaster strikes. So Istanbul is the biggest city in Turkey, with the largest population, and it's the center of our country with its industry, and it contributes to the general GDP of the country by 31%. But it's one of the 3 cities globally with the highest risk of an earthquake. So we are talking about an economic loss of $90 to $120 billion. So these figures are coming from a Swiss institution which has studied on this. So the World Bank and European Investment Bank and the European Council of Development, the Islamic Development Bank and German Development Bank, we are using a budget of 2.42 billion euros. So this is how we define ourselves. So the project coordination is in Istanbul only, and we work in affiliation with the Istanbul Governorship. We use international collaboration. We collaborate with international agencies, and we use financing. And we have a steering committee, again from Ankara, from the Ministry of Environment and Urbanization and other affiliates of the ministry, municipalities and governorships. So we have many stakeholders. And we are calculating the demolishing, the cost of demolishing buildings and rebuilding them. And we had this energy efficiency regulation which was put into force in 2007, and we got ourselves aligned with that as well, because it was very much about heating systems and how we could just transit from fuels to green energy sources. So we have three main pillars, and we are coordinating with 25 institutions in Istanbul. Let me talk about the projects that were put into implementation.
AFAD'ın kurumsal kapasite.
So, in order to increase the institutional capacity of AFAD, improve the intervention systems, IT systems in several areas, we are working on capacity building. We have two command control centers. One is on the European side of Istanbul, Hastal, and the other one is in Akprat. They are backups for each other, and during disaster, 500 people can work on a self-sufficient basis. It's equipped with communication and information systems. And on the left-hand side, we had these antenna, when we first came to power, there were the analog wireless systems, and these buildings would be collapsing. Now we have these antenna on the towers. We have 16 towers across Istanbul, and all our communication systems are carried to these towers, and we can use the analog systems easily now. And we have this north area, the white area was out of the coverage area. Now we expanded the coverage area. We increased the capacity as well. So the analog wireless systems can be used by the first intervention efficiently. We bought a lot of equipment and devices like forklifts, ambulances, 4x4 vehicles, rescue vehicles to be used during a disaster. Both in Hafa and Umke, we have these vehicles. And for communication, if there is a problem, you see our vehicles, they will enable communication. We have microwave links, fiber optic infrastructure, and satellite communication system and wireless system. So we have 4 different types of communication, again some other vehicles that we bought for Istanbul. And we have this education center for disasters on a space of 7,700 square meters. We have NGO specialists, professionals, and experts giving trainings and drills for floods and earthquakes. We have climbing towers, diving pools. It's a multi-dimensional disaster education center. We saw during the earthquake that the Istanbul NGOs were very effective, and it was thanks to this training center, because they can keep their knowledge updated through constant drills, practices, and trainings. And of course, our main component is the strengthening of public buildings or their reconstruction. Before, we focus on those buildings that were built before 1999. We had the new regulation in 98, so we have an increased use of better materials. So we focus on the buildings that are of higher risk, that are built before 1999. And 93% of schools were either reinforced or rebuilt. In the education sector, we have 1,162 schools that are reinforced or rebuilt, which is 5.5 million square meters of a construction site, which means 107 million students and teachers are in safe spaces, and about 33,000 classrooms are made secure. And in the world, ISMEC project is very well known. It is a successful project. This is Erenköy Girls High School in Kadıköy. This is the Bahçeli Evler Anatolian High School, Merkez Evi Elementary School. I'll just quickly skip them. I show these separately because each project is unique. Because land is very precious in Istanbul, we can create new space, we can't create new land. We want to make the most efficient use of land. You see there is no sports area in the garden, so we created the sports area on the roof of the building here. So we have several schools like that. Of course, these schools are safe against the earthquake, and this increases student achievement too. This reduces the inattendance rates, interestingly. So we have the social impact evaluation reports where we identify these, and this is a side effect, side benefit of our projects. And this is the Akşemseddin School in Küçükçekmece. So we want it to be earthquake safe, environmentalists, energy efficient, and aesthetic at the same time. So thankfully, we hope that they will be surviving for the next 100 years and serve the people of Istanbul. We have the conference rooms, sports halls. This was a triangular land, and we wouldn't be able to build something else, so our architecture made a triangular design. This is a school in Chile, and this is Istanbul Atatürk Science School. We create 145 kilowatt-hours of energy creation. We have green roofs. In every room we have carbon dioxide measurement devices. If there is excess of carbon dioxide, clean air enters through the space and the poor air leaves. And we actually save electricity. We have drip irrigation, so we collect water and irrigate the greenland. We have charging stations for electrical vehicles. So this is the first state school that got LEED Platinum Award. We got this award in 2021. The schools and hospitals we built serve the public. They are not specific to a business center. There is no distinction between rich and poor. These are schools and hospitals that include everyone. That's why we got the Leadership Award from Europe. Here's another school in Sekvarköy, another school. When the children are happy, we are happy. And we also try to turn the risk into an opportunity. When we build when we bring down buildings, school buildings, we increase the space as we rebuild them, because this is a city that receives immigration. So we build additional classrooms every single time we rebuild in a space. So we have actually added like 204 more schools based on this calculation. We also have activities in the healthcare field. This is the Ümraniye Children's Hospital. It's 100,000 square meters. We started it in 2016. This is the Ok Meydanı Hospital. It's 259,000 square meters and 1,099 beds. We started the first part in COVID period. It's called Professor Cemil Taşçıoğlu City Hospital. You see how narrow our space was. I showed the photos for this reason. And we didn't bring down the old hospital. We preserved the service there as we constructed this building. It was a very technical work, and we have isolators in this hospital. And you see, we brought down the old building, and so the old building is no longer there, and in that empty space we're going to rebuild. These are the isolators that we use in this building. These are some photos from inside. This is the Kartal Hospital. Again, we gave service during the COVID period, 303,000 square meters. Some views from inside, outpatient clinics, surgery rooms, desks, patient rooms. We received LEED Gold Award. We have 3 generation systems. We have the EDGE certificates and LEED Gold certificate in these buildings. It has the seismic isolator, and this is Göztepe Hospital, similar to the Ok Meydanı project. Again, there is uninterrupted service during an earthquake. Marmara University, Professor Asaf Ataseven Hospital. It is strengthened with seismic isolators. We placed seismic isolators instead of these pillars. It started to serve during the pandemic. And Zeynep Kamil Hospital is reinforced. In fact, we had to rebuild it, but there is a land problem. The municipality and Ministry of Health had some land here, and it was a problem that couldn't be solved. This building has historic meaning. It was built in 1940s, but it has really poor concrete quality, so we actually had additional curtains and on the columns. And this hospital was very famous, but it was in a really poor ranking. So after our renovation and reinforcing, it increased in its ranking. And we built the dorms, and we reinforced or rebuilt the dorms. This is the Atatürk student dorm. There are 3,500 girls staying in that dorm, and we have this C component. We work on historic buildings. There is the cultural heritage in Istanbul, and we actually looked at their resilience in terms of, in case of disaster. We did restoration and restitution in 3 buildings, like Archaeology Museum, Mecidiye Kiosk, and Saint Irene. And also with the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, we have developed a guideline for seismic risk management. This is one of the first in Turkey. And for educating people, we reached 3 million people in Istanbul. I want to talk about the economic aspect of ISMEP as well. How much energy did we save? How many lives did we save? How much contribution did we have to economy? What injury and production loss was prevented? We worked with Deloitte company in this work, and there are additional benefits. You increase quality, reduce maintenance costs, you reduce children's inattendance, there is uninterrupted service at hospitals. So 1 lira before the earthquake. If it's during the day, it goes back as 9-10 liras. It comes back to you at 9-10 liras. Or if it's any time of the day, it's 7-8 liras payoff. So it's really necessary to be prepared before the earthquake, and ISMEP is a good example of that. We strengthen our future. Thank you. Thank you, Gökhan Bey. Indeed, knowing this work is so precious for us, knowing this kind of work is taking place. We have very little time, but maybe we can extend by 3 minutes. We want to get your questions for our experts. I can start, maybe. I have a question to Gökhan Bey. You do this reinforcement for, you plan this critical infrastructure. There is the engineering aspect. There is also the planning aspect. When you plan during a possible disaster, do you plan for a gathering area? I mean, you reinforce these buildings. They're in a certain region. Do you select these areas in places where people can easily access and gather during an earthquake? Well, we host national and international experts when we carry out this work, and we visited 55 countries for panels, and sometimes they visit us, and in 2012 we have a presentation for the United Nations. So they ask us, where are you going to start? We say there has to be a prioritization. So we just separated public buildings to different sectors. We classified all the buildings, and we came up with a prioritization based on the technical features of the building. We have different specifications, so we classify the buildings. We look at the number of floors. Is it a 3-floor building? Is it a 2-floor building? We look at the earthquake burden. We also think about the population inside. Is it 1,000 people living there or 200 people? So there is a score based on that. Where we know where the fault line crosses. Is it in the first 20 kilometers or outside? Or is it a specialized hospital? Is it possible to access through the air or the land? When the roads are blocked, will it be possible to access? So there are so many criteria. And we start on that basis because we don't have unlimited resources and we have a lot of need. So these preparation projects for disaster is not a short-term thing. I mean, if we start today, we cannot prepare a province in 1 or 2 years. We have to do very good prioritization. We have to start from the right place and we have to come up with medium and long-term planning. This requires a serious budget, know-how, and technical infrastructure. That's why İKB creates a difference. We have the budget, we have the team members. I want to thank them very much. There is a technical capacity allocated for this, and the Ministry of Treasury and Finance is providing outside financing from finance institutions. We do reinforcing, especially for schools. This is registered to the Istanbul risk mitigation plans, and we have all the gathering zones marked, and they are to serve after the earthquake. They're going to serve the public after the earthquake. Thank you. Any question from the room? Yes. 2 questions. Hi. Thank you. I have a question to Christian. As far as I know, the earthquakes in Chile are on the ocean base, so the duration of the earthquake lasts longer compared to other countries. You deal with long-lasting duration. As far as I know, Pinochet, one of your politicians, made it compulsory to use curtains, and I think this is one of the reasons. I mean, he made some compulsory measures to make the buildings resilient against, these shear walls. He just made it compulsory to use these shear walls in buildings to be made resilient against earthquake. Is that correct? Thank you.
Press, Christian, no. There. This. Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes? Well, it's a wonderful question. Pinochet is a personality, a very tough to talk in order to respect the human rights and etc., etc. But it's true. Pinochet, with the whole power, without Congress, without deputies and senators and etc., decide to review after the big earthquake in 1985. Okay, decide 2, I think, important things. Never more to build with soiled, blocks. Never more. And also these kind of new walls, okay? But liberates a new commission in order to create an institution which is the Comptroller General of the Republic, which is in charge to review all of these matters related with every 5 years, review our regulations related with seismic. So such kind of walls is related with the duration of the earthquakes. This 1960 in Valdivia, the worst 9.5, 11 minutes. Can you imagine this? And the 2010, the duration was almost 5 minutes with 8.8. So these kind of decisions in order to liberate the research related with walls and etc., completely independent of the political decisions, just technical decision, it was, of course, a huge gift from Pinochet era. No? He inaugurated a new kind of process related with the design of devices, but also with the rethink about how to put walls, how to encounter walls with the ground, with the ceiling, with the another walls, and etc. And this was a very free mind, independent research, you know? Without budgets, in a very poor conditions, with an economical huge crisis in that decade. So it was a key issue for our history. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. The session director told me that we are seriously out of time. There was one more question. Sizde bir soru daha vardı.
İstanbul Üniversitesi Mimar Fakültesi'nden Grell. 2007
Well, in 2007, during the time of Governor Güler, Christofoğlu was the deputy governor, and I was working in Istanbul Technical University. I'm sorry, there is a tremendous echo because all the mics are on. I'm trying hard to translate, sir. Sorry. Well, since 2007, nobody called us, but it's great to hear for me that your work continues. Thank you. Well, thank you for your comment. Now, if you have further questions for our guests, you can ask them on your way out. I want to thank everyone. I'll declare this session closed. Thank you very much for coming. I want to thank all our panelists for their valuable contribution. Thank you on behalf of MARUF.
Nice to hear you. Yes, we must work with you. Okay. Sorry.
Yes.